Picture this. A few weeks ago, everything was great. You were having awesome conversations, maybe went on a couple of dates. It seemed like everything was ramping up, and suddenly, she just disappears. Complete radio silence. No replies. No calls. This wasn't just a quiet day. It was a full-on digital disappearance that made you doubt the reality of the past few weeks. You went through all the stages: confusion, anger. Maybe you even started digging into yourself. What did I do wrong? You replayed every dialogue, every message, looking for a mistake that wasn't actually there, but you handled it. You didn't start blowing up her phone. You didn't flood her with desperate messages. You showed restraint and kept your dignity. You got busy with your life, your goals, and almost got her out of your head. You shifted your focus to what really matters, yourself. And then, like a bolt from the blue, a message pops up on your phone. A simple, "Hey, how are you?" As if these weeks of silence never happened. No apologies, no explanations. She's just trying to slide back into your life like she just hit pause, and now she's hitting play. This message is the very definition of disrespect, disguised as innocent courtesy. She's not just saying hi, she's checking if the door to your life is still open for her. This moment is key. It's a fork in the road. How you respond will determine whether you regain your respect or once again become the convenient option she can wipe her feet on. If you reply immediately, with excitement and relief, you instantly undo all the work on yourself you've just done. Most men fail this test spectacularly. Why? They don't understand the psychology of her return. They mistake their relief for her remorse. They are so happy the ghost has returned that they're ready to forget everything. What if I told you her comeback isn't always a victory? That it's probably not even about you? What if her method of returning, like nothing happened, already tells you everything about her? Your answer will either establish you as a strong, self-respecting man or solidify your status as the backup airport that will always accept her. This isn't just an answer to one message. It's setting the standard for all your future interactions. Today, we're going to break down how to handle this situation properly. You'll understand why she disappeared, why she returned right now, and how your answer will make her either respect you or disappear forever this time, by your decision. Why did she come back? The psychology of the comeback. Before you hit reply, it's crucial to understand her true motives, because they rarely lie on the surface. Most often, the fundamental reason for her return is mundane and boils down to an acute validation deficit. This state occurs when her usual source of emotional supply runs dry. While she was gone from your life, she wasn't getting the dose of validation she's so used to, and her self-esteem started to dip. Maybe that more interesting guy she left for turned out to be not so great, or he simply lost interest in her. Maybe her entire bench of reserves suddenly emptied and she urgently needed someone who values her. Or she just got incredibly bored and remembered you, the reliable, dependable source of emotions and the very attention she's craving right now. Her return is almost never about your value. It's almost always about her need. She didn't miss you. She missed the feeling you gave her. Therefore, her casual, "Hey, how are you?" is not genuine interest. It's a cold test. It's a kind of probe she's dipping in the water to check the temperature. She's checking in real time. Are you still sitting by the phone in standby mode? Are you ready to take her back immediately, without a single uncomfortable question about her disappearance? This gesture also calibrates just how low you actually value your own time and dignity. If you reply joyfully, enthusiastically, and most importantly immediately, consider yourself having failed this test with flying colors. You didn't just reply, you officially signed off on being her backup option, available 24/7. You're no longer a person to her, you're a function, an emotional ATM that's supposed to dispense approval on demand. In her worldview, you've just confirmed that your place is in the waiting room, not in first class. But this isn't just a test, it's also a subtle power play. By acting as if these weeks of silence simply didn't exist, She is unilaterally trying to seize control of your dynamic. She wants to establish the unspoken rules of the game, where she is allowed to disappear and reappear whenever she pleases, with absolutely no consequences or explanations. She is literally trying to erase the past to avoid any, even the slightest responsibility for her actions. This is a classic manipulator's tactic. Create a reality where her transgression was never a transgression at all. If you swallow this and pretend everything is fine, you are voluntarily giving her the green light to repeat this scenario in the future. You are literally screaming at her with your reply. My time and my feelings are worthless. You can use me whenever it's convenient for you. You're not just giving her permission, you're handing her a detailed instruction manual on how you can and should be used. Every quick, happy reply from you is another nail in the coffin of your self-respect in her eyes. She doesn't see a man she lost. She sees a convenient resource that, to her relief, is still right where she left it. And rest assured, as soon as her attention deficit is replenished, she will disappear again, but next time, even faster and with fewer pangs of conscience. The emotional traps, how men ruin everything. Most men, in this moment, step on the exact same rakes, dictated by emotion rather than reason. These mistakes are so predictable you could set your watch by them. A man sees her message and instantly falls into one of 3 deep emotional traps, which she may not have even set consciously, but will instinctively exploit. Each of these traps guarantees a loss of respect and solidifies his status as the convenient guy. The first and most common trap is the relief trap. As soon as her "hey" pops up on the screen, he feels not anger or indifference, but precisely relief. She's back, thank God. That subconscious abandonment anxiety that's been gnawing at him this whole time and taking a hit at his self-esteem instantly vanishes. This feeling is so powerful, it completely shuts down his critical thinking. He's so happy about this sudden release of tension that he's ready to immediately forget the weeks of complete ignorance and disrespect shown to him. He ignores a red flag the size of a house because his wounded ego finally got a pat on the head. His instant joy is driven purely by ego, blinding him to the fact that her return is a strategic probe, not a romantic impulse. He mistakenly takes her return as confirmation of his own worth, when in reality, it's just confirmation of his constant availability. He immediately signals to her that his standards for self-respect are so low they can simply be ignored. She reads this instantly. This guy doesn't value himself, which means she doesn't have to value him either. The second trap is all-consuming curiosity. His mind literally explodes with questions. Where was she? What the hell happened? Why did she disappear? This desire to get answers, to get closure, becomes stronger than common sense. This almost childlike curiosity pushes him into a fatal error. He starts to actively engage in conversation, asking leading questions, trying to pry any reason for her disappearance out of her. But therein lies the catch. By doing this, he's already giving her exactly what she came for, his undivided attention and emotional investment. He's already investing his time and energy, while she has done absolutely nothing to explain her behavior or earn that interest. He is, in essence, trading his self-respect for cheap information that will most likely end up being a lie or a convenient half-truth. He doesn't realize that in this moment, he's handing her complete control of the situation, allowing her to dictate the terms of their reunion. He transforms from a potential object of interest into an interrogator, begging for explanations. It's a pathetic sight that ultimately kills any remaining attraction, because strong men don't ask, they observe. And finally, the third and most insidious trap, the hope trap. His brain desperately whispers, what if this time it's different? What if she finally understood and realized who she lost? The man, who was still emotionally invested in her, instantly starts building a positive future scenario in his head. He doesn't see her disrespectful act. He sees the idealized image he created of her. He clings to a phantom fantasy of what their relationship could be, completely ignoring the harsh facts of her actual behavior. This hope makes him overly soft, forgiving, and accommodating because he's afraid of scaring her off again, afraid of losing this illusory second chance. In the end, he lays out the red carpet for her himself, so she can wipe her feet on him again as soon as she needs to. He becomes the architect of his own humiliation because his fear of loneliness is stronger than his instinct for self-preservation. He voluntarily chooses the sweet lie over the bitter but liberating truth of her character. This hope is the fastest ticket to a repeat disappearing act, but next time it will hurt even more. Response strategies. How to take back control. So, your phone is in your hand. Her hey is staring at you. What the hell do you do? 1,000 thoughts race through your mind, but you must immediately suppress the very first one, the enthusiastic reply. Any hasty, emotional reaction is an instant loss and a surrender of all your positions. You have several calculated, strategic options, and every single one of them is infinitely better than showing you were waiting and suffering this whole time. The first strategy can be called the mirror, or the delayed response. This is one of the most powerful and easy to execute moves that immediately changes the dynamic. When she disappeared, she wordlessly showed you that you are not her priority and your feelings don't matter to her. Well, now you calmly and unemotionally show her the same thing. Under no circumstances do you reply immediately. This is the golden rule that cannot be broken. You must wait. Let an hour pass, 2, or better yet, half a day, or even until the next morning. This isn't a game of who can wait longer, it's a demonstration of your world's reality. This move shows that you have your own busy life, your own business, your own interests, and her sudden appearance is not the main event of your day. You weren't sitting by the phone, counting the minutes. This instantly throws her off, as she almost certainly expected a quick, happy, or at least angry, but still quick, reaction. She expected to see that her hook still works. Your unhurried delay is the first step toward demonstrating your value and regaining control of the situation. When you do decide to reply, you move on to the second strategy, requiring an explanation or setting a calm boundary. You must not pretend nothing happened that would be a sign of weakness. But, just as importantly, you must not throw a tantrum or hurl accusations that would be a sign of being butthurt. Your response must be cool, calm, and crystal clear. Forget pathetic replies like, "Hey, great to hear from you, where'd you go?" That's the position of a needy man. And forget the emotional explosion. "Oh, you, where the hell have you been?" That's the position of an offended man. A strong response sounds different. "Hey, haven't heard from you in a few weeks," or even shorter and more effective. "Decided to come back." You're not asking how she is, and you're not celebrating her return. You are simply stating the fact of her absence. With this, you are demanding an explanation without demanding it directly. You're showing that you noticed everything, you're not an idiot, and you're not going to ignore it. Now the ball is entirely in her court. She will either have to apologize and explain herself clearly, or disappear again, realizing her manipulation failed. The third method is direct confrontation. This is for those who don't like nuances or psychological games. You directly, honestly, and calmly state your standards. After her "hey," you again, after a pause, write something like, "Hey, I don't interact with people who disappear without an explanation," and then text, "How are you?" It's disrespectful. Yes, it sounds harsh. Yes, there's a huge chance she'll immediately bail or get defensive and attack in response. But that's the whole point. This is a powerful filter. If she's not willing to apologize, admit her screw-up, and accept your rules of the game, then you don't need her anyway. You are clearly planting a flag at the border. "You can't treat me like this." You demonstrate that your self-respect is more important to you than her presence. And finally, the fourth strategy. This is the big league total ignore. Sometimes the strongest, loudest, and most eloquent answer is its complete absence. If her disappearance was particularly painful, if this isn't her first stunt, or if you've simply decided you've had enough, just don't reply at all. Leave her message hanging on read. With this, you are telling her, "You behave so disrespectfully that you've lost the right to even a crumb of my attention. The door is closed, and you are on the outside." This is the most devastating move because it completely denies her the very validation she came crawling back for, giving her absolutely nothing and forcing her to wonder what went wrong. The main thing, your mindset. Remember, the main goal in all of this is not to punish her or to elaborately make her chase you. Revenge and manipulation are the tools of the weak, of those who are still emotionally attached to the outcome, and in whose universe she is still the center. Trying to get back at her or teach her a lesson is still chasing her reaction, just with a different source. You're still playing her game, trying to change her, instead of just setting your own rules. Your real, only goal is to protect your self-respect, to build an impenetrable wall around your dignity. Protecting your self-respect means recognizing that your time, your emotions, and your attention are your most valuable resources, which you do not give out to those who don't value or deserve them. It means your standards are not up for negotiation and don't depend on how beautiful she is or how much you missed her. The key to this protection is complete, total outcome independence. You must be genuinely okay with whether she stays in your life on your terms or dissolves back into the mist, realizing her test failed. This isn't an act, not a tactic to be cold. It's a deep internal belief and a state of calm. It's a state where your emotional balance doesn't depend on external stimuli, especially from those who have already proven their unreliability. You stop being reactive and become proactive in defending your peace of mind. Your self-esteem is an internal pillar that doesn't waver based on whether she texted you or not. You are the source of your own value. Her attention is, at best, a pleasant bonus, but by no means the vital oxygen you can't breathe without. Remember, your life was perfectly fine before her sudden hey, and it will remain just as full and rich if she disappears again, this time for good. She was just one of billions of people on the planet, not your only chance at happiness. Your world won't collapse because its foundation is you, not her fragile presence in it. When you operate from this indestructible position of strength and internal abundance, you are essentially putting her before a choice with no margin for error. You either give her one single chance to fix the situation, admit her mistake, and start communicating on your terms of mutual respect, or you calmly, without anger or regret, permanently close the door on a person who has proven they do not value you. And this closing of the door doesn't come from spite, but from wisdom. You're simply no longer investing in a losing asset. You're removing a weed from your garden to let healthy plants grow. Understand, in either of these cases, you are the absolute winner. You either get a person who is willing to respect you, or, just as valuable, you get rid of dead weight and make space for someone who will truly value you. The emptiness that might seem scary at first is actually the necessary space for something better. Nature abhors a vacuum, and so does your life. It will inevitably be filled with people who meet your new, healthy standards. This isn't a loss, it's a successful filtering of your social circle, an act of self-care. If this breakdown helped you understand how to actually maintain your dignity and permanently exit the backup option role, hit that like button and subscribe to the Psycheria channel. We don't teach cheap pickup tricks here. We talk about how to build mature relationships from a position of inner strength and unwavering self-respect. And be sure to write your story in the comments. How did you deal with these returnees, and what did it lead to? See you soon. And always remember, how people treat you is their choice, reflecting their character. But whether you let them continue to treat you that way is your choice, reflecting your self-respect. See you in the next videos.